photograph is really part of seascape photography folklore at this stage, and it features many times on Flickr and 500 pixels, etc. So I had to come here and give it a stab myself. Unfortunately, timing is everything. It's always crucial, and this afternoon I had a low tide, and this site is only accessible on a low tide at about 20 to 7. Now, I've managed to get in about 2 hours before low tide with a pair of, you'll see them, neoprene boots. So that did the trick. The arch itself, when you come around the rocks here and clamber over the rocks from the main beach, and even the main beach is some narrow road down from the main road here. So I'm not saying it's an ordeal to get here, but it's by no means easy. And Google Maps has had a severe problem with left and right turns when I got onto the minor roads down here. But it's been well worth it. We spent the morning, I was down here quite early, about 12:30, so I spent the morning on the beach, just sitting about and listening to the waves crashing on the shore. And there really are wonderful waves here. The Bay of Biscay pounds the coastline here. And I'm sure it's a calm day for locals. I was talking to a couple yesterday afternoon, and they said in winter time the coast is just magnificent with the size of the waves and the weather that they get here. But today it's beautiful, it's sunny. Again, it's not ideal for seascape photography, but you get what's given to you, or you take what's given to you. And I've really enjoyed coming down here and getting a few what I'd call standard shots, which is using a polarizer to take the water here behind me with the arch, you know, and with a 14mm lens. I've come right up close. It's all about the arch. I wanted to get just the arch in, a little bit of foreground, a few of those ridges running into the arch there, and a little bit of movement in the water underneath. The main shot here, and I'll post it on Flickr if you haven't seen it already on Flickr, is accessible via a cave. And if you see the cave here behind me, it's just a very small square cave. Now, within that cave, there's a second entrance, and there's light coming in from this side. And at the very back, there's a pool of water left by the high tide. It's very dark in there. It's not easy from an exposure perspective. And the shot of the arch, which basically at a normal exposure, a camera red exposure in there, a matrix exposure, would have been just white. It would have been invisible in the photograph. So I think I was shooting at around, I think it was about a second or so. And I exposed for 1/125th of a second for the arch, just to capture the detail both in the arch and in the sky. And I'll need to merge those photographs together in Photoshop when I get home. But I'm looking forward to doing that, but not quite yet. I've many more beaches to see along here. Silencio. We've started Sunday morning in Playa de Silencio, and we're the first to arrive at this wonderful beach. In effect, this is a sunset beach, but we're here for sunrise, and the scenery is wonderful. It's like half a caldera. It's a totally enclosed beach here, with the cliff to the right cupping the actual beach below. But the interesting thing about this beach is the way the waves just break on the shore in a very symmetrical fashion. And it's as if each wave is being guided onto the shore to create this fringed effect. And that's what I'm trying to capture here. As you can see, the camera is on. It's on a long exposure. I have a big stopper and a polarizer fitted at the moment, and I'm going to chance a 4-minute exposure. Now the effect of that is it's going to overexpose the sky greatly, and I'm going to adjust that in post-processing, and I'm going to use a Lightroom graduated filter to bring down the sky. But I really want to capture a lot of texture in the sea below, which is in shade. So we'll see how that turns out. As you can see, there's 2 filters on the camera there. I've got the polarizer sitting outside, obviously, and the big stopper inside. Well, we've decided to camp at this beautiful location. There's wonderful cliffs here, very powerful waves crashing against the shore. It's called the Bufones shoreline here. It's just west of Riba de Sella, and we didn't really want to spend the night camping in the town of Riba de Sella, so we've come out here, and it's been chaotic since we got out here. I was expecting it to be very quiet, and it is very quiet. We passed by a bar literally a couple of miles up the road, and it was just bangers going off, and nearly definitely going by, and there were a couple of lads just play acting, I think, and I hope. We've arrived down here. I don't think we're supposed to be here, but listen, isn't that what camper vanning is all about? So we've parked right beside some blowholes, which may sound a little bit silly. I can hear bangers going off in the distance here. The blowholes are rumbling with a high tide at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're positioned around 20 yards from one of them. And to top it all off, there's lightning and thunder in the distance. So I have bangers, blowholes, and thunder and lightning. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning, because I'm going to head up the cliff here behind me and try to get a sunrise from there. The sunset was quite muted here, but I chose this scene. I'm not sure whether it can come through with the light on the video camera, but it's a wonderful series of cliffs running towards the sunset in the distance there, and you might have heard a banger. It's like a bomb going off in the distance. Apart from that, this is very beautiful, peaceful countryside. So I'll leave it at that for the evening. I'm going to potter on down back to the camper van and get a good night's sleep, and hopefully get a good night's sleep if the thunder and the blowholes and the bangers subside. Okay, there it is.